Another session, live tutorial session with Paintology, the app that changes our thinking of digital drawing. If you're familiar with Paintology, you will know that it's one of the apps that looks simple but very powerful when you go under the hood, because it teaches you techniques. And this is the app. When I open it, teaches you techniques unlike the other apps, which are crammed with tools that show you how to use tools. And then the problem with that is that it overcomes your ability in learning the art fundamentals, the actual core fundamentals that are always taught in art schools. And this is what Paintology has been developed to bring back those techniques that are essential to all art mediums. The fact that we have two separate entities, traditional art, digital art, is entirely due to the evolution of digital art, which evolved to support the new industry of online internet, web graphics, illustrations, and now, since we have tablets and phones, those applications just naturally migrated in the way of using the previous apps. Not, and majority of us, like myself, want to draw using just simple brushes and tools, which is what Paintology is all about. And by doing that and developing techniques, you are going to get very good in drawing. You won't be limited by tools, which the majority of digital artists will be limited by tools if they want to move into fine art. So fine art is an art form which has been around for centuries, and it's the art that has been appreciated by some of the great grandmasters of our time. And that's what Paintology is all about. The essence of drawing lies in the simplicity, essence of drawing and painting. So let's quickly recap what some of the tools are here. So we got, so this is what I'm doing. I got this simple phone, and that's exactly what I do. Use my finger, use the Paintology drawing app, and make my drawing simple as that. And you normally use one or two brushes. That's it, just like you would using traditional. And you can make very interesting drawings, impressive drawings. And so the some more information you can get is if you look at the description of each of the videos, you get access to a lot of the resources that I've found. This one is very active on, you've probably seen it, Quora. And Quora happens to be an active platform that I've posted a lot of information. I think I have 1,300 answers, and I've had 650 posts. So there's a lot that you can read if you're into drawing, painting. Yeah, so all these drawings typically done on the phone. And then now I'm becoming more and more comfortable with my fingers. And I hope this allows a lot of people to make use of their phone for creative purposes, not just for socializing and all that. You can actually, it is an exceptionally powerful drawing device. And if you like pencil drawing, you'll find the phone just a little bit of tweaking. You'll find the phone. You'll make more effective drawing. I'm actually I'm a traditional artist, but when it comes to drawing, I am much more capable with the digital medium because I picked up the techniques so rapidly, and most of the techniques I'm going to show you are actually in these live sessions. This is a photo graphic photorealistic of Brad Pitt, made on the not on the phone but on the Galaxy Tab, freehand. So I was referring to one of his photos on another device while I was drawing this on my Galaxy with using the Paintology app. So the Paintology app, how do you download it? Well, very simple, right? You go to the Google Play Store, type in Paintology app, and you'll see it there. Can you see it? The first link? Go to it, and then you'll be able to read some of the description and some of the drawings you'll see, all made with the Paintology app. So let's go back and start our session. This is the home screen, and you have access to over 600 tutorials, all free. So it's the app. It does not focus on developing the use of tools or encouraging you to use tools. Tools is a means to achieve techniques. You have to remember that. Tools are not going to make you a better artist. And it sort of disheartens me when I see a lot of people, oh, this app has everything under the sun, we've got to do that. Oh yeah, this one. And they're all chasing after the wrong thing. If you look at all the artists, the good ones, they don't have any preference for any type of tools. Maybe they're comfortable with it, but they're always open to expanding their techniques using the tools. The tools are just like a carpenter. You don't judge a carpenter based on the tools that they stock. You base it on the work of art, the actual furniture they make, or the tables, the chairs, and all that. The same with art. So it has a lot of tutorials. One of them is paint by numbers, which you'll find many tutorials, like for example this pizza, right? And it's very simple. We just go to the numbers, expand, and let's go to 1, and then just simply, I have it an A's dark brush because I like A's dark, and then here, and then simply fill it in. 6, let's go to 6, fill it in, change the brush size, and just rotate. It's really powerful with the zoom function. You almost think that's the reason I can do photorealistic drawings on the actual phone itself. And then you have a toggle button on the top right here, which allows you to watch the video, and you can draw along with the video. Yeah? Yeah? So it's all designed to make you a good artist. The app is there for you to develop the techniques of art, not the use of tools. No, how do I? If you're jumping to tools, how do I do that? With this, which tool does that, and does this tool take care of? You're avoiding the ability of developing important art techniques, and that's the reason why you would consider me as a good artist. But in reality, I don't draw that often. I only draw for tutorials like this. And the reason I'm good at it is because I pay attention to developing techniques, looking for new ways to draw new avenues. So every time I see a brush, I push the brush to its limits. I don't jump to another tool. I got a blend here, so I need a blending tool. I got a layer. I need layers here too. I need layers there. Those are, if you want to do illustration, vector graphics, and all that, it's perfectly fine. And I'm an advanced user of Photoshop, GIMP, you name it, but I will never use it for drawing in the true sense. Drawing is your ability to be in the moment and draw freely without being challenged by tools, having to use these tools. It's all coming from within you. And that's why traditional medium forms of art is still one of the most popular ways of painting and drawing. And Paintology attempts to bridge that gap between traditional and digital art, the void that's been created as a result of the evolution of digital. If you want to read more, please go to the Paintology website, and there's so many. This is one of the blog posts. I've got the blog post here. The process of drawing, learn the fundamentals. Photorealism, drawing in digital, these away. There, look at all these. Why do traditional? So I talk a lot about that difference between traditional and the way I talk. And this is an interesting one, the three traits of mastering art skills. In fact, mastering any skills. If you're interested in, and I know many of you are, to get better in drawing, because you see others who make it look so natural and such a breeze. The problem is you don't understand the drawing process, and here that's where I'm here to teach you the drawing process, the techniques that's allowed them to get to where they are. And then once you've mastered these techniques, you can stretch it and go way beyond them as well if you want to. Look, have you seen digital drawing done in this manner? That's not because I'm a fine, exceptionally skilled artist. I've just developed the techniques. That's about it. That's all. So I'm going to start diving into the actual drawing session that we're going to do here. As you can read from the title, it's about drawing hands. So what I've done is yesterday I was thinking about what to present on the live session. So I started, let me go to my paintings. I saved. So this is the hand that I drew in block coloring. Took me about 20 minutes. No, maybe 30, 40 minutes. Block coloring, as you know, fine tunes you to tones. The reason why this looks pretty good, and this was done on the hand using my fingers, no pun intended, but it was done with my fingers with the grayscale mode, and I use block coloring and I use wood brush, haze brush at 100% settings, and then I continuously develop. If you don't know what block coloring is, please look through the description and you'll find links to it, what block coloring is, and how to get up to speed with block. It's the easiest thing in the world, I can tell you that. If you can trace, you can block color. So block coloring is a method that I have employed in this Paintology app in order for you to appreciate tones. And tones are the most fundamental thing when it comes to drawing. You cannot ignore that. With tones, you see the reason why this hand has depth is because it's got darker tones, lighter tones on the palm of the hand, and then you can see that it's got various grey tones all across the hand, giving it dimension, form, shape, value, everything that the an art teacher will talk about. Yeah, so I did that using block coloring, and I'm going to show you the actual video of the block coloring that I did here. Okay, so go to the movie section. This by the way is a screen recorder which you can also download. It was developed by Paintology, so it was designed to record art drawings, but it can be used for everything else, and it's really popular on the Play Store. We're downloaded all over the world with lots of users, and so you're free to download. It's called the Screen Recorder 2022, and then we'll be updating one with the new one. So this is the actual block coloring that I did, and you'll see here I'm going to step through this video. So as you can see, block coloring involves picking the brushes and then simply setting the trace bar to the top half, which allows you to pick the colors from the reference image, you see. So now, and then I go through basically uh, blocking out small regions of color, as you can see. This was set at 6.7%. And then I knew that I needed to develop some of the tones that vary, and they're subtle tones as well. And then all I needed to do was pick the tones and just go dabbing using the reference image, just like tracing, yeah? So I do that all the way across the whole hand. I don't even consider doing the details. I just filling it with block coloring. So that's what I'm doing right now, as you can see. And I'm not worried about those small lines that you find in between the fingers. I'm just doing that right now, filling. That is one of the drawing process, the first step in the drawing process, which is to block out the whole subject that you're drawing using this method. So all you do, color picker, then dab, color picker, dab. That's it, nothing more. And then you follow the line of the thing. Notice that my drawing strokes attempt to follow the line of the subject. Yeah. So you'll see that I will twist my drawing strokes to match. Although this is sort of a force of habit. Any art person will tell you that this is a normal traditional way of actually filling in colors and blocking, yeah? So all right, let's go here. Let's keep going. So I've done this. Look, now I've gone to 1.6%. That's a tiny brush size. And I'm now addressing these darker regions. Did you see how many color tones I picked up? Selected some of the darker tones, yeah? You can see here. And then just filling in areas. So this is again part of the drawing process. I would not get to this step until I've done the first step of filling in. You'll find a lot of photorealistic art does that except for hyperrealism, and hyperrealism is not really any specific skills required. It's just finding the right tones and working pixel by pixel of a drawing. If you want to spend, a couple of months, doing one, then it's fine. But me, I'd much rather get away doing many, and then building up on top in the essential skills of art. So you can see here, I've stepped through that. So I'm just going through, and then notice, and then towards the end, I particularly stay focused on my piece of work so I can switch between and see what I need to do to my artwork. So I start off using the reference image, then towards the end, I'm more looking at my own particular drawing to get that shaped right. And then eventually with finding the right tones, especially the tones that are darker, high contrast, I'm able to address that with the smaller brush, and then I get to the final drawing, which you have seen here, this one here. So that's it really with the block coloring. So what are we going to do? Am I going to show you the same thing, block coloring? No, I'm going to actually show you the freehand way of drawing, because many of you are looking at this and saying, oh, dismissing it like, oh, it's a bit of tracing. But here, I'm going to make several points on with regards to tracing. Anyone who dismisses tracing as a form of drawing and practice should not even talk about art. They should just keep quiet, because tracing is one of the fundamental tools used by every artist that you have probably heard of. Picasso, Cezanne, trust me, they have built up their skills through using every tools under their belt. And Monet, yes, and then you have Van Gogh as well. He tried many ways to develop his techniques further. He wrote to his brother, who and then told him he needed to get on this course, go to and talk to this artist. He had to learn. That's what he did. He didn't. He actually explored his avenues and then built up his own unique style of painting and drawing. So tracing is a fundamental tool, and if you ignore that, you ignore at your own peril. You will be stuck forever trying to think why you're not getting any further ahead in the reason why I can draw photorealistically on the phone, which you probably haven't seen anyone else do, is because I have drawn using block coloring and established techniques. My muscles have tuned into the tones, the image that I look at such a low level at high resolution. It's tuning my brain, my muscles, and my hands to define tones when I'm doing freehand. So I'm going to show you the same drawing. I'm going to use freehand just to dismiss a lot of these naysayers who thinks that, oh, that it's not worthy of looking at. But the fact is, also, I'd like to mention about traditional and digital art. Any form of art, you draw a stroke here, draw this line here. It is a piece of art. Look, here's a piece of art. Maybe it will go in the Tate Gallery. Who knows? I'm doing this. Look, maybe it's a form of art. It's reaching out. The hands is reaching out. 5 fingers. I don't know. Maybe I've created something. I don't know. But what I'm saying is any kind of way you do art at the simplest level is a form of art. You may have seen the painting that sold for millions of dollars in the blue and the with two colors on the paint. But that's what art is. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to take the no, actually I've already got the image loaded. I'm going to first pick the where's the trace image? There it is. This was the original image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take go to the line brush, and we're going to do several types of drawing here. The line drawing, and as you know, before I go to the line drawing, I'm going to show you what I did earlier with the line drawing. I used the trace mode to make this drawing on the phone. Can you see it? This was a line drawing done really rapidly, and it develops your techniques of drawing strokes, refines it, improves it, and then it develops also your notion of tones when you look underneath. Look, see, all it is just lines, crisscross, crisscross lines, no strokes. Remember, it's not a drawing stroke. It's done with lines. So you can do this. Pick any image and just simply draw over it with a line. It's called a line drawing, okay? Look here. And then you get better and better, you'll be surprised with what you can do. And then, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to do a line drawing first, right? So you got this. How do you do the line drawing? Well, I picked a line brush, and I'll set it at 2.6 here. And then let's pick a smaller brush here. So here, this is what you're going to do. You look at my midpoint cursor point. It's halfway, just halfway. Now, you may be thinking, oh, I'm going to draw this slowly and then go around like this. That's fine. That's fine. As you get better, this is what you're going to end up doing. All right? Really quickly. And then don't erase, just, and you'll find that you'll get better and better, yeah? And then I notice that every time I start, I'm a little bit hesitant, but as I get better, it becomes more easier. Okay, there. See, I'm warming up. It's like the engine warming up. Right? And then I'm just going to do a simple line drawing. Okay. All right, line drawing of the hand. Make a mistake, just to use the undo tool. But don't worry about it too much, just the outline. And then we're going to see how far we can go with this, yeah? Because I usually spend an hour on this live session, so I hope you've got the app. Right. They're so easy, isn't it? That was done in such little time. So now let's change the brush and add, let's save this. Let's change the brush and add these little notches that make the difference in the line drawing. Okay, and see if we can enhance this image. So, because this, these are the trademarks of hands. This is something. Uh, in fact, it's so much better that you don't have to use such refined lines. If you use digital, you'd probably thinking, oh, I need correction. I need all that. This is using my fingers, and and then you can correct. Look, I'm not trying to do too much. There, there. Really just focus on. Look at that, so quick. I think I could read his lifelines. Right, this will give it some shape. Right, so this is a line drawing of the fingers. Now let's see what it looks like. Right, doesn't that add like so much credibility to their hand, doesn't it? Yeah, it's great, isn't it? And now what can you do? Well, we can actually now go and define some images, some how do you call it, the tones. So let's go and lower this to 65, so we can lower this to 50 and then use a brush size here. And then so what we can do, let me save this as like step 2H2. Okay, and now what we could do is, since we've got a smaller, we can 30, 40. I'm just doing something different. Here is the uniqueness of painting. If I were to do the same thing again and again and again, okay, maybe for new people it looks tantalizing and nice, but to an individual it looks like repetition, unless the person is making money turning out volume. Okay, some people can do that because the money keeps on is their incentive. But for me, I need to experiment. I just need to continuously broaden, push the limits. It's probably from my research background. When I went to university and did research, and it just propelled me to think outside the box in everything that I undertake and push the boundaries. And that's probably why I've, also pushed my skills in drawing. So again, keep it halfway, and then we got a brush size 4.1%. Oops, that's silly of me. I'm going to move that. Okay, so I'm going to select the color picker. Let's clear this. Select the color picker and just simply, actually, I'm going to increase the brush size a little bit. Okay, 6, because that's what I used. So just select the color picker. Let's see what it comes to. Who knows? Might be interesting, isn't it? This will improve your drawing strokes, right? This really helps you to understand tones. So let's do that quickly. It's so fast. You'd be surprised that you can draw hands this rapidly. Right? And then don't worry about the overlap here. Right? I'm not too worried because it might be a kind of a unique effect that you haven't seen. Who knows, right? we can see what it looks like once we've... So what is this doing? What am I doing here? Using my finger to drag. It's doing a hell of a lot. It's improving your muscles, improving your tone. You're beginning to appreciate the tones. And the analogy that I give to people is don't ignore what's around you. For example, if you're looking to buy a new car, have you ever noticed that if you're looking to buy a new car, what happens? Your brain is tuned into the new car, and even though you haven't bought it, you see so many of it on the roads, isn't it? Just unbelievable. It's like suddenly these cars are everywhere, isn't it? Don't tell me I'm not really speaking the truth. You know that is the case. See, so this is what it does. What is it doing? It's actually like an ink that keeps overlapping. I mean, if you've done drawing of any kind, you'll know that's the way the traditional behaves. And the problem is that digital should not mimic the drawing tools of traditional. It is different, but it's also yet more powerful in many ways. And if you mimic the traditional materials, you are bringing in the good and the bad, isn't it? But if you look at traditional from what it can do by itself, you are really thinking with outside the box. You're beginning to think that this is a totally new medium, but let's see what comes out of it. I mean, have you seen people push oil into watercolors? No, do they? They will never do that. They'll never use it in the same way. They know it's different. Acrylic, which I used to use a lot, is a different set of different beast and different way of doing things. And digital is the same thing, but it doesn't have to rely on tools. It only relies on the tools because that's how it was built, to avoid the complexity of drawing. So I hope you're following this. And I'm just using the thing, yeah. Just using. So I want you to also use this. Look, I'm following the strokes. Right there. Look, there's a darker tone here, and then not so much. Then here, darker tone here, then not so much. Look how quickly you can do this. No effort. No effort at all. Just fun drawing. Am I battling with tools here? No, not at all. I'm just simply using my art skills and laying down paint. That's all. Where am I? Oh yes, I left that one out. So let's just go here. Follow. Look how I'm doing the strokes. I'm following the thing, and it gives more dimension to this. Following this. See these tones here? You see that? Right? Just bringing it. We're using more of that tone. You see that? These tones. Right? Just going over. You always pick the color picker so you're you're really referencing these tones. Look at that. Darker here, so a bit more of the brush. I'm always trying to find interesting ways of drawing, and I know you probably have a good ideas of drawing as well. Subjects, and if you really want to do anime, I suggest you stick with Ibis or that, because you got to create those fine eyeballs. And probably, if you want to do fine art like what I'm doing here, then this is the way to go. Yeah. Let's see how quickly let's see what we've come here. Look. So you can see here that we've come to this step from the line drawing, and let's see how we can improve this. Okay. Let's continue developing this and improving it. Okay. So, okay, now you can see, oh yes, you gotta get these. So let's take these down a bit, 25. Just fill in those white bits, right? And then all you do is pick color picker and stay on your canvas, right? Stay on your canvas and just get rid of these white. Oops, good. See, I picked the white to pick yeah, you'll know when you pick the different color. Just pick the color that closely resembles this thing, and then you're just filling it in, right? Nothing more. See, that was easy to pick the white color because my fingers landed on that. Okay. Let's see the black. Let's see if we can improve that, right? That's all we're doing, and then just working our way like that, and then getting a lighter tone, because we're trying to improve this, right? To make it look a bit more appealing. And using the colors that you can use the colors on the palette from here, like that, and just simply, okay, because we don't want these white gaps there. So let's take the brush down, because we've now approached the fingers, and use one of the colors. Like, you can expect that crease in the fingers will have a bit of a darker tone, so let's stick to that, right? And see what happens. That's just all about experimentation, nothing else. Right, so it'll be a darker tone, so you can use drag your grey color if you want the grey. This is really good because this is what freehand drawing is all about, is you're now using your own judgment to pick out the body, right? We'll do that for a while through the fingers, yeah. Right, and then there should be a darker crease, so let's take it back in the finger area, around the crease area, yeah? No biggie. And then just simply, and on the left side, it's a bit more darker, right? Yeah, just a little darker, so do that. And then here, and then this got a little bit of light, right? And then move that. And then we've got that darker shade. Now do the same thing. Add the darker around the crease, right? We're trying to use the tools available. Right? very easy, nothing too complicated. Yep, just put a bit of tones there. You can see here, the darker for the edges. Yeah, right. Just smooth that, and then take some of this white out so it doesn't look. And then the crease mark here darker. That's all I'm doing. Then here, just using, so staying within my. So this is like partial freehand as well, yeah? So you can see what you can do is don't dismiss art. If you're a beginner, be open to what is being explained and shown, you know? Don't try and feel that you have the answers. I don't have the answers. I don't think, and I've been drawing for a while, yeah? I don't have all the answers. I mean, this is so much fun, isn't it? Okay, so here, the crease, right? Crease, right? It's a good brush. Just under 4%, right? Now we can see what it looks like. Don't have to, but this is working out quite nicely with the, right there. We can see there's another crease here. Let's have the crease. Yeah, make it darker. Who cares? Yeah. And then here, use the grayscale, yeah. And then let's see how well we're doing. Yep, we're doing great. Before I do that, let's see how it looks like. Look at that. It's now moving towards more of, I can identify that. It's got these little strokes, that really identifies with that. All the things that matter in a hand, right? So let's just keep doing it and just put it in hours. We don't have to. We don't need it. We just keep and use your eye to appreciate the tones, right? The tones that you need to do. Just using your fingers, right? Use your fingers. And this left side is where I'm thinking the shadows fall in. So I'm sticking to a darker tone automatically for that side, just because all the fingers seem to. And move that, move the colors, move the tones. Look, I'm moving it by manually. I'm not picking the color picker. And then we can take a look at our reference drawing and see how that looks. Just move it. Right, okay. And then here, around this, along the dark banding here, you can expect more crease, right? So put a little bit of crease there, giving the illusion that, so you don't want to make it too cartoonish, right? You're trying to aim towards some form of realism. Not total realism, but that's darker here, so I could continue. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Oops. And then you get a real good feel of this grey tone, right? The grey tone, the scale. Let's see what that looks like. Look at that. It's a big improvement. Now you've come to another step where you feel that you could now also address this area. So that's very easy again. Yeah, what I mean by the drawing process is that as you get better and better, you immediately think, you know what, I need to improve on those. And I can see the areas right away. I went for that thumb you saw me a second ago. And the reason is there's these white patches. So your drawing step has brought you here, and you simply need to keep going. Just keep going. Oop, I'm not using the color picker, sorry. Made a mistake. So here, I'm just... I've never drawn in this technique, to be honest with you. This new technique, I'm enjoying it quite a bit. I hope you do too. If you look at this, it's quite... See that shade? This is what we're trying to sort of... See, just refer to it there, you see? Just use... Right. Just use... And then you can pick the colors. And then you'll see that this has changed quite a bit after addressing this thumb. And then let's see what that looks like. And then we can go darker from the palette and just go here. And that's it. Look what we've got here. Now you can see that I've got too much of that darker here, this finger. You can see, so I can lighten it up. Why not? Well, just to show you how all of this works. Finger drawing, lovely. And then change it, vary it. Don't stick to the same thing, because that's what gives it volume depth. Okay, here. That's what gives it depth. And then we can do the corrections afterwards. So, not to worry. Let's see if we've got that down. Well, let's look at the original. Look at that. So what's going on here? Well, you can see that these tones need to be taken to this finger as well. So let's take that, grab that tone there. And then we need to darken this tone. Right. And then see if that's improved. And then add more dark here to this guy here, because he's basically you know, sitting right close to the other finger, so it should be. So just using my eyes and sense to unify this. Now you can see here, this here needs a bit of work. Can you see it? Take another look. Yeah, exactly. Needs work here. So it's dark compared to the other one. So you can just bring it up. Right? Bring it out. Not too much. Don't overwork it. Right? And then go in a darker for this. Not too dark. And then go here, because we know it's the crease marks here, right? And go here. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, much more uniform, isn't it? And now you can see that if you look at this drawing and this, you can see the lighter tones around here and here. Can you see it? And then here. Okay, so we're going to try and take that out, and I'm going to replicate that light tone. So let's pick something that works, light. Right. We're still doing well, okay, with the right there. Right. this is all about tones, and honestly, this is all about tones. All about tones. And it's not got tones, yeah. It's got that light tones. I'm going to put that tone on there. Let's see what happens. So, improvement, isn't it? And now you can go and say, well, what about this? I can see that needs doing. That's really light, isn't it? Then you can say, okay, so got that lighter tone here, right? And then we can say, well, it's got dark tones there, so that's because we haven't addressed it. Well, that's how you do the tones. This is great for the tones, but then you can see that they're darker. It's a much fun way of drawing. I was going to draw by freehand, but then I realized, this is also freehand, isn't it? You can't say this is not freehand as well. Look, the tones here, just adding these tones that makes difference to the image, and then you can see how this all works. And then you can see that, oh yeah, darker here, and then here. Well, we're just getting to show you what tones can do. Now what do you see? Well, you see we've come a long way from that line drawing and to this. Now you can see this drawing, and then what do you see? Can you see it? Can you see it? Dark? Can you see it? I can see it. The thumb area. Look at that. Oh yes. We need to work on this. So it's a bit darker actually. Let's try that. Yes, not too dark. Look at that again. Dark. Let's bring that down, yeah? Stick to the, look where I have 30%, 25% here. And just follow the tones. Look, this should be actually a tone drawing, but it is actually saying what it's doing, showing you how to draw hands, right? So it's not that bad, in that sense. So here, look at that there. So here and here. And then take it down if you don't want too much. Then here. And then, is there anything here? Look, darker tones here. Just somehow going around here. Ooh, look at that. There's very dark tones here. Right, so we're going to add that. This is what I'm doing. This is how you appreciate tones. Trust me. Once you have a good handle on tones, drawing becomes a breeze. See that? I have. Now we are adding depth. And use the grey tones, adding depth to it. Okay? And look at this flicking. So what I'm doing is flicking between my original image and this image. Okay? There, I can see there's a tone here. Not too much. And then there's a darker tone. Look, there's such a dark tone. Let's just get that dark tone. And then have we got a dark tone? Oh yes. We have darker tones here. Any darker? Yes, look at that. Let's get that body in that, okay? That's all it is, tones. Look at that. It's almost coming out like the original block coloring that we did. So what do we have here? So we can pick the tones, and then I'm going to show you another technique which you're going to like. Is that too dark? There, see that one? That needs addressing. So you go there and just address it. And you see that? That's it's a bit too white. So, and then how about here? You can see that's carried that black, that there. Let's look at that. Just you, then you'll realize, wow, you'd never thought your hands had so much detail. You know, after this, you'll probably think, look at that. You see that there? Just adding those details. Just go through it. That's it. That's how you add depth. And then what do we have here? Then maybe pick a color picker there and just blend it in like that. I have to say I'm enjoying drawing like this because it's teaching me my new methods, which I had never thought before. There's something different there. So we just go here. Let's have a look. See how dark that is? See that? There. Dark here. Then gets there. This is how you're going to really appreciate tone. Let's look at this hand. See that? There. Darker. And then it gets light. Okay. Let's see. Oops, we've seen that. How it makes such a difference if you overdo it. Okay, so let's tone. Oops, the tone. No, let's see what happens. There we actually want to do this here. Let's see what we've got here. Okay, so this is beginning to look good. Now you can see here, you want to do that. How would you tackle this? I've got an idea. I'm going to go here, pick this brush size and then take the density here because I want to cover a little bit of that region here. Carefully look at what we have. We have this, so it's 11%. Let's take it to 9 and then pick this color and then take the density down so you can really work at it. You don't have to, you can have to work at it too. Right, and then keep looking. Right there. Right, see that? See? You see that? There's a darker region, so we can improve that. Right, then there, and still blend it. It doesn't look like we're not. Nothing different here. Look at that darker patch. Right. Okay, let's say we've got that, and then here, can you see it? Dark patches here coming through here. Here's some white. Then here, take that. Then there. Just blend it. It's like it's a form of blending. See that there? We're going to create that region. Just change the color. See what I'm doing is I've got a good handle. I have a good handle on the tools. I'm not like jumping from one tool to another. Right? I'm just refining what I'm seeing. Right there. Then do a few more strokes here. And then here. I could still stick to this, the bigger brush, and just even it out. What do we have here? Then just go here in the darker, right? And then go and just lighten this area. And then here, what do we have? Look at that. We've got some light and darker areas here. And then some little darker areas around here. Okay. Alright, so what do we have here? Look at that. You can see that as I keep working on this, it's going to turn more and more photorealistic. Trust me, that's the way it works. The nature of drawing is the drawing process, and this, I have just discovered that this is a drawing process, which is key to good drawings, and I'd like you to appreciate it. There you are. Look, bring that here, and then here you can say, all right, we've got the larger brush, so it's easy to blend. Right, easy to blend. So you can do more strokes. And in time, you could improve this as you go along. And then let's see what the fingers are doing. There, look. So you get used to this grayscale. And I'm going to show you more drawings using this grayscale, because this is the key to really appreciating tones. I'm going to show you more right there. Right, just playing with tones on the phone using our fingers. What have we got here? Got darker tone here. All right, so you can see that this will get better and better, and it's sort of more and more coming into life. Let's look at this here. Let's try and correct this. Look at it, and then go back. Look at your drawing, go back. Look at your drawing, go back. Okay, and then we can take it down a little bit. And then what do we have? Okay, this is the art of tones. Oh gosh, always do that. I hate it. I do that. So it's the dark color here. Let's lay down the dark colors first, and then we've got an idea where to go. Okay, then just lay down these colors that make up the tones, the overall tones. Look beyond the finger marks and just just see where these tones are coming from. Okay, this is a really good exercise. I think I will do it again sometime in the future. But you can actually mention in the comments whatever you like to see there. Okay. See that dark, and then it's light. This is sort of light, so we can bring it down. I would probably use this again for another tutorial. Just take that down. It's really white. Yeah, this body here, then here, this body here. Can you see it? Just trying to replicate that tone there. That this. Yeah, just trying to replicate. What are we doing here? Yeah. So here, darker tone. Use that grayscale. Really works well actually. That grayscale. Looks here. Then here the grayscale. This grayscale's doing well, isn't it? And then here you can see it just a tad light there. And then see that bit of the white. Sometimes it doesn't pick up the white, but there. Then we have white here. And then we have a bit of the dark here. Okay. Then let's see. Wow, what's that? That's the crease, isn't it? Okay, so can do that. So we need to take that. Oh, we're already quite down. So let's just take that and then add that dark crease. This. See that dark crease? Take it that more black at the end. All right, and then do we have any more creases? Yeah, and then you can get better in doing these. See that there is none of that here. In fact, that is not a crease, which I added. So to do that, just go up and then just take it out there with that. You see that, how easy that was? Just taking it up. All right, let's see what we have here. So looking really good, isn't it? And then we can clean it up. And then what I'll do is I'm going to continue drawing with this just to show you that I can take it to almost photorealism here, just to show you that it is possible, you know. So I will continue with this, but let me clear this area up and let me show you how we can improve, because we had a line drawing here. We could really improve on the edges, on this lower part of the edge, which I'm going to show you how it's done. So here, you want to clean this up, right? So to clean it up, we basically go to, yeah, you got it. We got to increase the density a bit, so we don't have to keep rubbing it on the. Keep it at 2%, and then just pick up the darker color. Ooh, that's way too powerful. So let's take it down. Ooh. Then let's see if we've got a darker. Yes. Okay. I'm going to show you why doing this really helps to give. You can see why appreciating the tones and looking at an object really changes. See that? The dark tones you can see here. Oops, I didn't have it near to mine. So I was looking at the halfway drawing. So just working at it to show that the shadow, fast shadow gradient that's working on this side of that finger, just to take away that some of that, the elements of that outline that we did. Let's see if that's made a difference. Yeah, sort of, isn't it? And we can say it's a bit too dark, because so what we can do is we can tone it down. Take it down even more if you have to. And that's all you need to do. Right, then you can go here. Until you get the right tones. Right, don't get, until you get the right tones. I need to fix this actually. Let's see what we have here. Yeah, it's better, isn't it? Although it's not obvious. You can see that there is obviously a problem here. And let's just take it back. Not a problem. That's the beauty of digital art. I'll take it back. Yeah, I've got to work on this. Doesn't change as fast. Okay, what do we have here? Much better, isn't it? And then we have here, we're going to go all the way here, and oh gosh. Okay, we're going to pick color picker. Right, fix these edges. Let's fix these edges. You can see some edges needs fixing with the white. So I've got the white, still at a high density. And let's see, just go here, you can see it here. Just fix that edge here. And then here. All right, then. So you can see how this has come over here. Can you see it? It's obvious, isn't it? That's the part of the drawing process. That's the beauty of it, is that you can go over it, come back, go over it, and then you'll see all holes appearing. That is the drawing process. So that's the hand, and then we know that if we continued up the tones, developing the tones, you could make this photorealistic. And I'm gonna try my hand when I have time during the day to get this to photorealistic level, continuing the what I just showed you, because you're so tuned into the tones. Yeah, if you look at this, you can see that. What are the techniques? I can tell you right away to develop this, the the, the techniques. I would need to look at these varying contrasting tones, especially from that dark area here, and then just develop it. Not too much effort at all, just a little bit of tweaking, and I guarantee that with a little bit of 40 minutes effort, I could get this close to this almost. You'll see it. It's very possible. And in fact, if you stay tuned and watch this go live after I'm finished with the live session, you can, I will present a link in the description that will show the final drawing, okay? So that there you are. So again, this is enhancing the tone, so I'll add more description to it, but this is to further tune your brain into thinking tones and then automatically develop the drawing strokes necessary. So let's recap what we did. We first started with the line drawing, then we started putting in blocks of colors, very broad colors. Then we continue to look at the tones and fine tune our brain on the varying tones of this hand. You know, the darker regions, you can see dark around the thumb there, here, which is what I tried to do there. And then dark around the creases of the fingers. And then, of course, darker around here in this region, yeah. So that's what I was trying to attempt to do. And by doing that, it gets towards realism, the basic components of realism. And photorealism, if you can get up to the level of photorealism, it is essentially the pinnacle, the Grand Prix of your drawing skills. So don't let others put you down when they talk about photorealism. I actually was put off by photorealistic drawings, but then I realized it is essentially taking your skill techniques few notches above, and then you can turn your painting drawings into photorealistic drawings. It's just a question of wanting to do it. And then when I felt the necessity to do it, and I'll show you with some of my artworks. And first go to Drive, and then Start, then my artworks here. You'll see this was one of my very first photorealistic using the shade brush. As one of my friends said, what's he doing trying to open a crisp packet with a pen? which I found quite funny. If you look at it, you know, it was done on the Galaxy tablet using the shade brush only. That's it. Let's get my Paintology logo there. And then, so this is all it takes is, previously I would do drawings like, I'll show you if I come across a drawing. Previously my drawings got to a halfway house. This doesn't seem to be here. And then I would stop there, but then I just continued. So if I were to do a normal drawing when I was in that frame of thinking, it would take me, let's say, 2 hours. I would probably need to put in another 1 hour to turn it into photorealism. And I was like flabbergasted. I was like so excited that if I wanted to choose to do photorealism, it's fine. So to all those people who are saying that, why would you want to create a photo? Well, for a lot of reasons. You want to develop the skills to get to photorealism, to get to that level of skill set. Then you can broaden your creativity to anything you want. Picasso did that. He got to a level where he could do a Renoir in his 20s, 30s, Rembrandt, and he was so skillful. But then he used those skills for his other style of paintings, isn't it? Cubism. So this is one drawing I did of photorealism. It's a glass jar, which I'm quite happy with. Hope you like that one. That was done on my Amazon Fire tablet. So there's a lot of paintings, drawings I've done over my time. And look, these are the early ones I can show you. They don't look, look, the This one, for example. You see, they don't look photorealistic, but they were designed to just bring out the beauty of painterly effects, painterly drawings. There you can see. And some of them are done on a 32-inch drawing canvas, yeah? So that's what I want to tell you, is that don't focus on tools and digital, develop techniques. Hopefully, the fact that I've shown this hand drawing will take you in that direction. So develop techniques. Techniques, by above all, far superior to just using tools. You'll be confined to tools and you will hit a block, you'll hit a wall. I want to tell you that. And then the reason why you'll hit a wall is because I've actually posted something in Quora, which was why are digital paintings more in traditional, why are photorealistic paintings done more in traditional rather than photorealistic? And there was a very interesting response from a lady who said that it's because digital drawing will appear like photos. And I'm thinking, photos, really? I can tell digital art easily by its fine lines and very like animated computer generated type image. Very, the blending is perfect. No human can do that. And then she said that in order for me to make it look natural, she needs to use paintbrushes at the end of a digital drawing. And then I said to her, why do you start drawing manually in the first place? Why do you have to use the tools? Unfortunately, I never got a response. Wow, this is a very nice painting, isn't it? Beautiful. Okay, so there you are, and hopefully you've enjoyed this session. And please let me know if you have any comments, and I'll be happy to answer them. And I will be share another live session hopefully tomorrow. And if you have any subjects that you'd like to see drawn here, by all means, or any explanations that you're having difficulty understanding, then by all means put in the comments. And of course, subscribe, because this is all offered free, no cost to you, and it's just purely my pleasure of showing everyone else the techniques I've learned in drawing, hopefully that I can share with everyone else. Thank you for watching, and hope to see you again soon. Bye bye.